Today's generation of young people have been immersed in a world infused with network and digital technologies. They have different attitudes, aptitudes, learning preferences, and diverse needs. As such, educators must find new approaches on how they can reach out to today's generation, which Prensky calls digital natives. They are now confronted with the questions: what is best for my students? What is the best use of face-to-face time with my students? John Bergman and Aaron Sims tried to address these issues by working on what is now called the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is a pedagogical model in which the usual lecture and homework elements are reversed. Video lectures that are either created by the teacher himself or by another teacher are posted online for the students to watch and analyze before coming to school for the discussion. The face-to-face class held in a traditional classroom becomes a workshop in a flipped classroom where students create, collaborate, and put into practice what they have learned from the video. Flipped classroom embraces the constructivist approach to learning, where students construct knowledge on their own through the first encounter with the material. It also adheres to the principle of learning by doing because students themselves are actively engaged in learning in a variety of ways. Flipped classroom model features pre-recorded videos which are posted online for students to watch at home before going to school the next day. Basically, the video must be kept short, interesting, contains call-outs and annotations, and uses direct instruction. Face-to-face time with students using experiential learning, problem-solving, and hands-on activities is also another feature of a flipped classroom. Lastly is the giving of immediate feedback. Teacher circulates around the room to give feedback on the informal formative assessment and keeps track of the learner's progress to ensure that they are ready to move on to the next unit. With this setup, the role of the teacher shifts from a mere presenter to a coach who gives learners encouragement and guides them in their journey to learning. He also functions as an expert feedback provider who gives right-on-the-spot corrections of the misconceptions learners have about the content, and a tutor as well, for she attends to the learners' individual inquiries about the content. The student's role, on the other hand, shifts from being a passive recipient to an active constructor of knowledge, putting more of the responsibility for learning on their shoulder, and thus making them self-regulated learners. The flipped classroom model addresses the issue on student diversity. First, through lecture videos, students with different cognitive abilities learn the content at their own pace. They may pause, rewind, or skip portions that they already understood. Second, because the classroom time is devoted to classroom activities, the teacher could find time to address the individual misconceptions and can make on-the-spot feedback and corrections, which cannot be done in a traditional classroom. Informal formative assessments also differ for every student.
I was thinking of my students in the cream classes and the athletes who are usually pulled out from classes for about 2 to 5 days because of their participation to academic and non-academic contests. This approach perfectly fits them. The features of the flipped classroom is the use of lecture videos for home viewing. This model may not be appropriate to those who do not have computer or internet access at home.
For someone like me who is not adept on the use of the internet computer softwares, Making my own videos would be one of my greatest challenges. However, I have realized that I can, and this could be the start of my journey to flipping my own classroom. But wait! For this major transition to happen, both the students and the parents must be prepared and oriented from the very beginning. Teaching in this present era is indeed a tough job, and I have realized that if I would go away from the usual classroom lectures and provide them instead with rich learning experiences during our face-to-face time, then I could be taking my students into further, deeper learning while fostering a stronger relationship between and among themselves. Therefore, maximizing each time that we have in class would be the best use of our face-to-face time.